Okay, welcome to potentially a tutorial video. This is the quest for Sim Settlements 2 called New Connections. After you deal with the Nightingales, you end up getting a chance to escort Circe to a meeting. The meeting has potential consequences to potentially chapter 3 of Sim Settlements, depending on how you play it. I think I found one of the more interesting ways to quote-unquote resolve the problem and maybe leave it open for other opportunities in the next installment of Sim Settlement. So I'm going to be quiet, I'm going to play this out, and I'll show you how I do this to get what I believe may be the maximum benefit of the opportunity.
Oh, hey. I'm glad to see you. I'm a bit out of my element here.
Are you okay?
Yeah, just a bit jittery. Fiona's the talker usually. She has a way of phrasing even go to hell a way that makes people ask for directions. But it's my contact, and the whole logistics thing is also kind of my problem. I'll be happy if we just avoid bloodshed.
Yeah, that's great. So what are we doing here?
Be flippant all you want, but your attitude is probably going to be helpful with these guys. So I'm still glad you're here. It's a bit odd seeing the new Liberty Trading Company in the Commonwealth. Guess something caught their attention.
Who are these people?
Some kind of merchant coalition, I think? From south along the coast. Or was it north? The important part is they're offering to fund us. But I've been around long enough to know if something feels too good to be true, it probably is. And their pitch? Too good to ignore.
What's the big deal?
Well, the Nightingales, were on the move. We were pretty self-sufficient, foraging for medicine and food, donations from patients. Now that we're set up in one spot, there's logistics to consider. We need permanent guards, scouts for ingredients, caravan connections. It all comes back to funding. Preferably the kind with no strings or interest. And that's exactly what we're being offered here. We can survive without this, but it'll be survival only. Something tells me that this trading company knows it as well.
The whole thing smells like a trap.
I'm worried about that too. Nothing about this feels good. The deal they're offering? It's not pocket caps you'd throw to a beggar, that's for sure. But you're here, and you're good with this kind of thing, right?
I totally am. I can see the future.
Not falling for that. Everyone knows psychers need chems for it to work. I don't see you huffing anything. Any other questions before we go in?
All right, let's get started.
Yeah. If they're for real, we could start dreaming bigger with this whole hospital idea. Train new doctors, keep all the caches stocked properly. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's just get through this meeting and hope my bad luck's on break for today, yeah? I sure do feel better with a couple of ex-gunners for backup, though. Shows we're not pushovers. One more thing. If at any point you think it's a bad deal, just say so and we'll walk away. Fiona will understand. I'm from the Nightingales. Got a meeting? So far, so good, I think.
Huh? Yeah?
Lydia Proudmore. I'm your contact for today's negotiations. You must be Dr. Cersei. You're late.
Late? We didn't even set a time, just a day.
Ah, that's right. I understand working clocks are somewhat rare in this region. My clerk must have tried to accommodate you. A pity you failed to mention that to me, or I wouldn't have had to wait for 3 hours in this, well, whatever it was.
Oh, sorry to keep you waiting, Miss Proudmore.
Can't be helped, I'm sure. Let's proceed. In this envelope are the details of the sums the NLTC would like to invest in your organization. If you're agreeable to our terms, the first shipment will be forwarded to your location beginning of...
That's... Miss... This is a lot of caps. Antiseptic... copper... lenses... Wait... Did you say first shipment?
That's right. You seem surprised. Those are the estimated startup costs for an organization such as yourself, are they not?
And then some. But I mean... Last time I saw a caravan be this generous, they set up their own guys and tried to rip off the town for the losses.
A brazen tactic to be expected of the small fish that swim in this small pond. We do not operate through such petty maneuvers. I assure you, there is no clause in our prospective agreement about losses. The NLTC will assume all responsibility of security during delivery.
But...
It's a generous offer we're putting on the table, Doctor. One that I can just as easily take to many other initiatives in this territory. Your friend here has certain ventures that I'm sure could use those finances. Yours is simply one with the most promise for the investment.
That's right, my friend. I'd like to talk to them for a second. Privately.
By all means. But I require an answer before you leave this room today. I have no intention of staying here longer than I absolutely have to.
Okay, so the weird thing about this is Lydia says your friend may want to take advantage of our services. That makes me think that...
Make it quick, please.
Oh, shut up, Lydia. It makes me think that at some point down the road, Lydia and the trading company would want to deal directly with me as opposed to with the Nightingales. Let's see what happens.
I don't like it. That has to be the longest stick I've ever seen up anyone's ass. Every alarm bell is going off right now, but I can't figure out what her angle is.
Do you believe her?
They have a reputation for honoring written contracts, at least from what I've heard. If it's on paper, they mean it, but... Well, this paper doesn't say anything about intentions. It does have a lot of pretty big numbers, though.
This is just a bad deal.
You think? And here I thought I was just being paranoid. She doesn't strike me as someone who'd hand over all this stuff to some group of doctors miles away from home, no strings, no motive. So, what do you think? Should we take it?
I'll talk to her. Maybe we can work this out.
Smart. Go ahead. It'll give me some time to read the contract again.
Yes? Well, hello. There's really no need for stalling. This is a legitimate contract, sanctioned and enforceable by the Home Office even out here. Although, I understand the apprehension and respect the caution.
What's your angle?
I am here as part of a delegation tasked with taking measures of prospective profits that could be accrued with preemptive investments.
Now remember, when we gave the sarcastic answer to Cersei outside, she said that might be helpful. Remember that? And what button do we push if we want sarcasm?
Why should I trust you?
Trust is cheap. Freely given, freely taken away. It has no tradable value. Frankly, I don't care if you trust me. Reputation has value. The shipments I'm offering have value. And this hospital they're endeavoring to build, that has value. Up to you which part of that you consider to be the most worthy reason. But don't fool yourself with matters of trust.
Flirt!
I can see that we're gonna get along just fine.
Always refreshing to meet a like-minded individual so far from home. Perhaps we can do closer business after this is concluded.
Who are you, anyway?
Lydia Proudmoore. I'm a trader with the New Liberty Trading Company. That means I have the rank to offer investments like the one I handed Dr. Cersei. In case that's too confusing, I am someone with access to a lot of money, and I can give it to whomever I choose. That's all you need to know.
What would the results of this choice be? I'd like to make a well-informed decision.
It's true that a hospital in these times is not a reliable source of returns. Though truth be told, this investment is rather paltry. Our interest is a bit larger in scope. This hospital is something the people here are in desperate need of, yet no one has thought to invest. When it becomes a crucial part of the infrastructure of the region, the people funding it will be in the best position to leverage elsewhere. You are more shrewd than you're given credit for. I will keep this in mind.
That's all for now.
Oh, hey. So, what do you think? Should we take it?
Are there any other options?
I don't know. Do you have a pile of caps lying around that you'd be willing to give to us? No strings attached?
Okay, at this point in the game, who doesn't have a pile of caps laying around to give to somebody? Am I right?
I sure do.
Wait, really? Huh. I should have probably asked before we walked in here then. Well, I guess that takes care of the necessity part. Thank you. We can still take her up on the deal, though, if you think it's worth it. Double the resources?
At this point, Cersei is saying that she has enough to do what they need to do to move the hospital project forward. And Proudmoore has told us that she wants to, I don't know, get together later to talk business. Let's send Cersei on her way. Shh.
From what I just heard, that might be a bad idea.
You reckon? Alright, I'll trust your judgment. I'll go let her know. Miss Proudmoore, thank you for meeting me here today, but I'm afraid I'll have to decline your generous offer.
How disappointing. I'd hoped to find the Commonwealth ready to put aside its pride and take the assistance when it is offered. I can see I was premature with that expectation. Very well. We're leaving.
Hey,
Make it quick, please. Yes? Yes?
Lydia, let me help you to the door.
keep out of my way.
Yeah?
And you
Stay out of my way.
and fly off, and
Yes.
you can take a flying leap to the future.
Get the hell out of my face.
All right. At this point, I believe that we are in the best position to take on Chapter 3. Proudmoore has said that we may potentially be interested in her investments, which leaves the door open to talking with her later, especially the flirt option. Cersei now has the funds to go ahead and do the hospital renovations or the expansion or whatever. She said, oh wow, I should have asked you earlier, this takes care of it. I think right now we are in the best position to take advantage of whatever comes in Chapter 3 and to be able to leverage whatever sort of relationships or affiliations show up.
That wasn't bad. Shame this turned out to be a waste of time, but we survived fine so far. It'll take a bit longer, but at least we know we didn't sign away our souls. With your help, I'm sure we'll be just fine without her or this trading company. Listen, before we head back, there's something I've been meaning to talk to you about. I've been a Nightingale for a while now, and normally this is the point where shit goes wrong and I'm a lone survivor looking for a change of scenery. So, this might seem like it's coming out of nowhere, but could you use someone like me in one of your settlements?
Why? What's this all about?
Call it superstition, I suppose. But I can't shake off the feeling that the longer I'm with the Nightingales, the more danger they're in. It's been hard to sleep, waiting for the gunfire to start, or for a fire to break out, or... I mean, even the steel. I was half sure this was all a ploy to lead half our guards away so someone could attack the hospital. It's no way to live. I could move between your settlements without pushing my luck, help your hospitals get set up, or help with logistics. I was always good at that.
One of the quests as part of Sim Settlements 2 is to recruit a doctor to HQ. Cersei doesn't have great stats, but she might actually progress the story along.
Trouble sticks to me, too. I blame industrial strength epoxy.
Maybe two negatives make a positive. That's a nice thought. Being the dead albatross is getting a bit old. So, what do you say?
Of course. Let's do it.
Glad to hear you say that. I'll sleep easier once I'm in a new place, I think. I'll talk to Fiona as soon as I'm back to make my way to... where you want me?
I'm dumping all of my people that are the special NPCs from Sim Settlements into Murkwater. It's one of the closest settlements to HQ, and it's got a pretty big ceiling, actually. Like, if you want to expand Murkwater and build tons of stuff there, I think between Jamaica Plains is a dump. You can't build anything there. Egratour's Marina is pretty good, but it has a lot of its own infrastructure. And then there's that one to the southwest that I can never remember. It's a really small plot also. Pro tip. All the people that Iran helps you find in Sim Settlements 2, send them to Murkwater, build it up to be a huge repository for all of your NPCs, and then you can scan them and pick out like who you want to come over. You can trade them back and forth. If you want to kick somebody out for a while, they just go straight to Murkwater. They run there. It takes like a minute to get there. You can recruit them back to HQ. It's super easy. And there she goes. And that's it. I truly believe that that setup right there is in fact the best way to leverage all of the potential options that could happen with the next DLC. Shout out to King Gath and the whole crew. This has been one of my favorite mods to make Fallout 4 feel new and feel more alive and feel different. Anyway, lots of Sim Settlement 2 content coming up. Check me out on Twitch. I'm Rufus, R00FUSS. Hit that smash like button. Let's go. Anyway, that's all.